I don't understand shippers, like, at all. I've been watching anime for about 8 years now. I started when I was 8 years old, and my first ever anime was One Punch Man. The real ones that have been on the channel for a long time know this. But y'all know about that Genos X Saitama shit that was going on back when the show came out. So pretty early on, I've been exposed to the absolute mental strain that is character shippers. In 2021, I was a part of one of the most toxic communities on the internet. Now, while any talk was toxic and there was always drama, this was undoubtedly the absolute peak of popularity for anime due to quarantine and plenty of shows being paused or just flat out cancelled, which also means that it was the peak of ships across every single community. I'd always thought a relationship in an anime was basically what the author implied or flat out was just a part of the story. I never once looked at a canon ship and thought, this character belongs with this character instead, and the character in question has absolutely zero chemistry with the character. Or better yet, it's a gay ship when the main character is straight. Like, why? Not that I have any particular problems with gay ships. I love K-Vi from Arcane.
Your hair. You look like an angry oil slick.
Don't sugarcoat it, Cupcake.
Adora X Catra from She-Ra and the Princess of Power. Shun and Mio from Strangers by the Shore. Hey, y'all get tapped in with Strangers by the Shore, bro. Y'all gotta get in on that. And don't tell my friends I told y'all this. They would fry me until the day I die. I'm not saying that ships are bad at all. In fact, I also shipped some characters from some of my favorite shows like Akame Got Killed. I think that Tatsumi would just look better with Akane instead of mine. Like, really. Akane and Tatsumi had much more chemistry. They actually like talked throughout the show. They were there for each other more and they understood each other in a way that nobody else really could. Not just like Tatsumi and mine who were just arguing 24/7. Like, to me, that's a good ship. That's a fire ass ship. It actually lines up with the story and is non-contradictory to the characters. The ships that I have issues with are the weird ones that make you feel uncomfortable to think about. Like the shipping of children in shows, My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter, and even Attack on Titan. Yes, no joke, Levi x Eren is a thing that people are actually into. I just found this out. So what makes a good ship? Well, my dear viewer, I would love to answer your question. And while that question is subjective to the person, I'll give you my examples of quote-unquote good ships. Jiro and Kaminari is a solid ship in my opinion. They're classmates, they experience countless life-threatening events together, they have real chemistry that we see on screen very often, and even in the anime finale episode, it was stated that Denki took a vacant spot next to Jiro's agency, indicating that he was comfortable enough to move in right next door to his friend. You see that? It's not confirmed, they're side characters so it doesn't really tangle into the story like the other crazy ships we're going to be talking about. Or Jin and Mikasa. Now, it's not a ship that I personally encourage, but I think it's like kinda solid low-key. Like throughout the entire show, Mikasa clearly loves Eren with all her heart and would literally do anything for him. But it's also shown that Jean has an interest in her, which also makes sense for the community to ship the two. After Eren died, Mikasa lived a long life, so it's extremely possible that Jean and Mikasa dated at some point or even ended up together. The fact that it was not given an official answer means that it's meant to be left to interpretation, which means there's no right or wrong answer. You can literally pick between Eren or Jean and not be wrong. See, to me, that makes a good ship, bro. I do understand that free will is a thing and people can do whatever they want, but like, come on, bro. Those two little boys who are best friends do not want to date each other. And yes, I'm talking about Gon and Killua. These dudes were best friends from the second they met and stayed best friends throughout the entire story. That spanned across 2.5 years. They help each other get stronger and grow as people. Killua even took the Hunter's exam, which is known to be extremely dangerous with multiple casualties a year. When I think of Gon and Killua, I think of me and my little brother. If you look at Gon and Killua and you immediately think gay boyfriends, I would love to hear your reasoning in the comments, because I cannot just look at those two like that. Now, how do these people end up shipping these characters? Is it the fact that they see platonic friendships and immediately think of romance? All these ships have one thing in common within their community. Tons of these ships are contradictory to the characters and relationships within the story. For example, Bakugo and Deku, also known as BakuDeku, one of the most popular modern ships. Two kids, one bullies the other harshly, physical abuse, emotional abuse, etc. Some people on the internet can somehow turn Bakugo's blatant harassment and bullying bullying into some sort of twisted enemies to lovers. But it completely ignores Bakugo's growth later on in the show, as well as their relationship by interpreting Bakugo's cruelty as just a crush that he couldn't express in any other way besides bullying. Throughout the show, he's shown to soften up after witnessing Deku's strength and bravery, which led to him later regretting bullying Izuku and accepting him as a hero and a friend. Guys, friend. People can somehow interpret this as enemies to lovers, which isn't really the way I see the relationship. I see Izuku and Bakugo as childhood friends who started to understand each other later in life. Deku is a child with aspirations to be a hero. His dream is cut short by the reality of him being quirkless. Bakugo was the complete opposite of Deku as a child. While he also wanted to be a hero, unlike Izuku, Bakugo had a quirk. And a really good fucking quirk. So Deku developed some sort of admiration to Katsuki because, you know, like, he had something that he didn't, right? And while some people right here would develop some sort of envy towards the person, Deku instead looked up to him. Bakugo saw this and took it as an insult, thinking that Izuku believed that they were on the same level, which is a prime example of Katsuki's ego that he developed as a child due to everyone praising him for his amazing quirk. This led to Bakugo constantly bullying him for years. After the two enrolled in UA High together, it only made Bakugo angrier, but after losing to Izuku in the first training exercise, it changed something in him. He slowly started to open up to Deku and his other classmates. He began to understand Deku and respect him as a hero and a person. People tend to ship these two, not understanding that the ship completely ignores Bakugo and Deku's growth and maturity over the 10-year show run. My bug bag just fell. Did y'all hear that? Or Gojo and Ghetto. It's a pretty popular modern ship and it's been pretty popular ever since the Hidden Inventory arc was released. This one is a bit harder to get into depth. While it's undeniable that Gojo and Ghetto were best friends, it's also obvious that these two were basically soulmates. Gojo and Ghetto understood each other in a way that nobody else could truly comprehend. These two were burdened with being named the strongest as early as 16 years old. I'm 16 years old. I couldn't imagine being in that situation, which is why I can't necessarily discredit Gojo and Ghetto as a ship, and while I can see them as soulmates, I can't find myself shipping them as romantic partners. In the scene where Gojo and Ghetto had their last conversation, not including JJK0, people like to refer to this scene as the breakup scene, which is a bit silly to me, but it's not necessarily wrong either. The way these two were acting can very much be chalked up to a breakup. There's one side who's detached, tired, trying to walk away, and the other side, hurting, desperate, and begging. So this being called a breakup scene makes sense, but not in the sense that some may interpret. I don't believe it's a romantic breakup. The reason Gojo is begging Ghetto to stay, even going as far to threaten him with combat, isn't because he's desperate for Ghetto's love. It's because Ghetto was the only person who truly understood Gojo, and if Ghetto left him, then Gojo would truly be alone in the world, which is exactly what ended up happening. But to degrade Gojo and Ghetto's tragic friendship to two guys breaking up is frankly just a bit silly to me. Stripping these two characters of their emotional depth, I like to think the reason there are so many weird ships was low-key quarantine. I think quarantine gave people too much time on their hands, and during said time, while people watched these shows, they did one of three things. A. People enjoy hypotheticals. B. People misinterpret the chemistry behind two characters' relationships. Or C, they believe that the ship they choose is better than the canon relationship dynamic. Once again guys, I'm not saying shipping is bad at all. I think it's actually like helpful to the communities. Media is meant to be enjoyed and interpreted in whatever way you guys see fit. You don't have to listen to me, bro. I'm just a random dude on the internet. You could have just clicked off, but you chose to stay. So that means you must have liked something. So while I have your attention, why don't you hit that like button and subscribe? It takes 2 seconds and it supports the channel a lot. I appreciate y'all boys watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Mwah.
And we got treats, so here we go around. Gotta know I ate it, she's so sweet now, man. Lady, I'm on that all the time, all the time. I mean, you all of mine.